afternoon, everybody. You get to say a lot of new things, Adrian.
This is the new home for beach soccer here in the Bahamas, and there's going to be a whole lot of festivities out here today, guys. This is the opening of the center, and I've been joined by Gary Barker. Gary, of course, is the legendary coach at Queens College, and also one of the outside of rugby. He's soccer, he's track and field, but he's almost a little about that. Gary, welcome first of all to beach soccer here in the Bahamas live on cable Bahamas.
Thanks, Adrian. That's a very colourful introduction, I must admit. I'm not sure I like the legendary bit. It implies age, doesn't it? That's the problem, right? Yeah, what a fantastic facility built by Anton Seeley and his FIFA people. I think you have to really, really appreciate that an island so small has got such a FIFA ranking, and we've brought into this island such fantastic facilities. So these guys need a massive pat on the back.
It is amazing to me, though, that in the 40 years, next year the Bahamas will turn 40 as a country. We have the brand new stadium on at the Compass Park in the old sports center, and now we have a brand new facility here that has beach soccer. And for the Jamaicans to come to town today, the Bahamas against Jamaica, they too talk about the value of beach soccer to island countries like the Bahamas. And so there must be a sports renaissance taking place. There's something happening in Brandmount when it comes to baseball. There's something happening in track and field. And now there's something happening in soccer, the under 17 girls, etc. But this new facilities, though, speaks volumes to where we are right now in sports.
I couldn't agree more. I think what you understand is that the Bahamians are so sporty. They're fantastic. I mean, they've got such a phenomenal ability in the sporting area right across, and our track and field speaks for itself in that respect. Their strength and their hand-eye coordination. So, as a small nation, we are a tremendously great sporting nation, and I think the facilities are now beginning to reflect that. As you said, the track and field stadium, it's a phenomenal stadium. This centre here, I hear Greg Burrows is going to build a baseball stadium as well. He's going to try and get that organised. So we really are pushing forward. And again, like I said, for such a small island, we are pushing it out for the sporting populace. It's paramount.
You know, small islands, great countries. Great country has always been the motto of the Bahamas when it comes to athletic, to sports. But soccer itself has had a renaissance. The under 17 girls and also our team trying to qualify for the World Cup just the other day. Soccer is going through a renaissance. I remember my niece saying to me very vividly that trying out for the soccer team at St. John's College just after the success of the under 17 girls. They had over 45 young ladies just trying out for the soccer team at St. John's College, and I'm sure at Queen's College you probably experienced the same thing.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got 4 teams, and most independent schools have got 4 teams. There's a lot more soccer played now at the junior level than there has been before, and hopefully that will translate further forward. The building of the National Centre, the AstroTurf there, has also helped. Which means that they can actually play a lot of soccer without ruining the pitch over a long period of time. So you can use all the under 12s. You can get all the youngsters starting, all the groups under 12, and then bring your national programmes, 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s, and move them forward. And that will only help your senior national programmes go forward.
Guys, I tell you what, Gary, I can hear some jungle music behind me now.
I'm surprised you're not dancing, Adrian.
It's amazing, you know, simply because, you know, it's almost jungle season. But guys, the facility, the music you hear in the background, that's not the Saxons nor the Valley Boys. What that is a call to you, a clarion call, to get down here to the eastern, just east of Malcolm Park, just opposite the Eastern Parade. And what you can actually do is, you can actually join us in the music, but there's going to be a huge soccer match today. We're going to beat some Yardies today. That's what they always say, beat them Yardies.
We are very, very, very pleased to bring in the Yardy boys. We really are.
Yes.
I mean, these Reggae boys are actually ranked 50 in the world. Now, any Scottish people out there, right? They're ranked 70. Scotland are ranked 70. And so Jamaica, small island, 3.5 million people, right?
Yes.
Okay, they're ranked above a nation of as big as Scotland, who are such a soccer power. So we're really pleased that they could come over. They've got a very experienced team. They've got 1 rookie in the team and 11 seasoned players. And they've gone to World Cup qualifying in Mexico and Costa Rica. So these guys are actually very experienced in the beach soccer. And I think they're going to show some tremendous skills today. And our Bahamian boys are going to show them some equally tremendous skills as well.
I tell you what, you know, I understand that, you know, the number 1 league in Jamaica, the Premier League, a number of the players on this team play professional soccer, but there is a Bahamian who also plays in the Premier League. Leslie Sinflor.
Okay.
He's on this team today. And I'm telling you, I saw him do a bicycle kick earlier this week, and I was very impressed. I'm telling you, Leslie Sinflor, is a phenom among phenoms when it comes to the game of soccer. But Gary, you're familiar with the grass soccer, and we've been talking about the deep pop and kick. That's what this sand beach soccer process is. What's the value though of coming from grass from the grass soccer onto the beach soccer? You think?
Well, it's. I had this conversation with the coach yesterday for Jamaica.
As Andrews.
Yeah, lovely fellow. What's the best way to go? Do you go flat soccer or green soccer or field soccer
Yes.
to beach soccer, or do you go beach soccer to field soccer? And he was saying that the transition from beach soccer to field soccer is much better, because the skills in beach soccer are incredible. You're really trying to keep the ball off the sand as
Yes.
much as possible. So using your chest, using your knees, and a lot of the time the ball is in the air and it's one touch, two touch, and you'll find a lot of the times, hopefully our viewers will see this, is that when the ball is thrown from the goalkeeper, it's chested, and they're shooting straight away.
Yes.
So it's about goals, this game, as well.
It is about goals. It's
Now-
dig, pop, and kick. You know, you dig it, you pop it, you kick
Yeah.
it, you chest it, you head it. But this game is played a whole lot fast. It's like fast break in basketball. As a matter of fact, the beach soccer game is compared so much to basketball, and so you have to be able to actually play the ball rather than have the ball play you. And so this match is going to be very, very interesting. And like you said, it's about scoring, and the techniques. Beach soccer requires much more skill. And so, depending on the skill level of the athlete, depending on what the athlete is actually bringing to the table, you can actually tell that this one will take you. They say when you go back to grass after coming from the beach, you're that much more faster. And so, I look forward to seeing exactly how this thing actually plays out.
Yeah, I think we're in for a great one today. Absolute great one. Where have you gone, Adrian? I think if you can actually compare the skills, you will see an amazing amount of aerial skill. Like you just said, if you a bicycle kick, I'll give you my date later on.
Yes.
The bicycle kicks in this game, you cannot touch them. So as soon as they go in for a bicycle kick,
You have to get off.
then you cannot touch them in any way. It's a no-no. It's an immediate foul, and all fouls, as you know, are direct free kicks. So it's about not stopping the skill.
Yes.
Whereas sometimes in a professional game, you can see, I don't know if anybody's watching the game this morning, Arsenal versus Tottenham. Adebayor, fantastic goal he scored, but then he goes on this silly rampage, puts his foot up in the air, takes a guy's leg away, and he gets a red card. And you find that there's very little contact in the sand soccer. The whole idea of the game is to move it as quick as possible and score as many goals
It is
as
a fast break. And
Very fast,
those of you who know what Showtime used to be back in the Laker days, this would be the Laker fast break with Magic Johnson leading the charge kind of thing, looking left, looking right, down the no pass, boop.
Yeah, it's very choreographed, and it's a good analogy. Basketball is a very choreographed game. Lots of offensive and defensive plays, and you find exactly the same here. They've got a lot of offensive plays and a lot of defensive plays as well. And of course, there's no walls. There's no wall.
No wall.
So
So
free kick.
Yeah, so you can actually just
it's
go
a penalty
for it.
penalty
just
every
go for it.
time. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, guys, I'm going to tell you what, the weather, there's a little bit of overcast, little sprinkles, but I tell you what, it's a beautiful day out here. We're in Malcolm Park, just opposite Malcolm Park. We're just next to the News of Sydney Poitiers Bridge, and I want to invite all of you out here. Guys, we're broadcasting live on Cable Bahamas Television, and you guys, Cable Bahamas 12, we want to thank you, and there are a number of sponsors. We're going to hit those sponsors a little bit later. But, guys, we want to invite you down here. There seems to be so much food, and everything is, there's a VIP. Whatever you want to do, guys, it's available here for you. And, Gary, there seem to be a lot of persons actually filling up the park, and so,
I think it's going to be a very good crowd today. Like we just said a few minutes ago, just to repeat ourselves, it's a game between two cracking teams. The Bahamas are doing very well in beach soccer, and they brought in the Yardie boys, brought in the Reggae boys, who are already in World Cup qualifying status as well.
Yes.
And they've been there as well. So they're at a good high level. So it's going to be a very, very good game between these two teams today. High level of skill, Adrian.
Very much high level skill. But this game is actually also going to be used as a measuring point for the Jamaica team as they also attempt next year for Beach Soccer World Cup. And so there are a number of things at stake as far as this team is concerned. And so they're going to be playing their hearts out to ensure that what they actually take back to Jamaica. And, one of the things, in talking to the Jamaican Coach Andrews, one of the things I found so interesting about his conversation, for the Bahamas, and we were hoping that the desire increases in the Bahamas when it comes to our sporting disciplines. Nevertheless, so he talked about the fact that the Jamaicans, they need this. And so far, they think the Bahamas want this. But they said that the need in Jamaica increases the passion for them to continually exceed and succeed in the levels of sports. And so what you would see with the Jamaican team, there are a number of persons who are trying to actually make European professional teams. There are a number of them who are actually trying to take this thing to another level. And so there's a sense of thirstiness, there's a sense of hunger. And so these guys are going wholeheartedly, Gary, for the best that they can actually be in terms of their sport, especially beach soccer.
Well, Keith Kelly, one of the guys from the Jamaican side, he actually played for Paris Saint-Germain.
Yes.
And that's top of the level in UEFA football leagues. So, I mean, we're talking about absolute top professional quality
Yes.
players out here today. And hopefully this will be a spur for us as a nation in order to push ourselves forward. Because, as you see, Jamaica, they're already in the World Cup qualifiers.
Yes.
There's absolutely no reason, if we continue our work with the youth development that is taking place at the moment, there's absolutely no reason why the skill levels in the Bahamas, which is high, cannot match the Jamaican skill set and put us forward in the World Cup qualifiers pretty soon as well ourselves. And we've done pretty well.
Well, guys, I tell you what, World Cup qualified. Now, you played some soccer back in the day, didn't you?
This back in the day, I'm going to have a chat with you later on about this back
No,
in the day.
I'm not talking about the Flintstone.
The Flintstone era. You're right. Yeah.
Meet
Yeah, I
the
played the
Flintstones.
Bears when I first came here. Yeah.
Yes.
89.
But it's just amazing to me, the evolution of the soccer program, because soccer was considered by so many persons in the country to be a boring sport. But that has changed so, especially over the last 2 decades.
It depends who you talk to, right?
Yes,
Obviously,
it's
right?
Incredibly, there are so many young persons involved in the sport.
They've got a massive program now. I mean, if you look at the schools programs as well, I was down at Life for Key this morning with watching the Tamberley Life for Key crew, and they've got the under sevens and under fives,
Yes.
under sevens, under nines, all the way, and there's tons of kids, loads of kids, and you translate that to 5 or 6 different areas around, and then of course from that they draw the national program, and they bring the kids in for the national program. And I've got kids at school now doing soccer 4 or 5 nights a week with
Wow.
the national program. So they're really putting it out. The coaches are out there, they're learning the game, and they've got a national program to develop the coaches as well. That trickles down, and as soon as you get good coaching, you've got the interest from the students. Then you're going to develop your game. All right.
Well,
it's the same with track and field, and the same with basketball.
It is the feeder system, and the feeder system has actually worked. The club system has actually worked in the Bahamas, and
Absolutely,
so we know where the success lies, and that success lies in the development of our kids through those club systems. And as long as we keep them kind of focused, I believe, I've said this over and over again, that I think in the Bahamas right now we're going through a sports revolution, and we see it in baseball, we see it in soccer, we see it in track and field, we see it in so many basketball, the CSA program with Marvin Henfield. There are so many programs out there that's actually breeding a new era, a new generation of athletes here in the Bahamas, and so I'm excited. I tell you what, and I believe that this excitement that I have is going to actually carry over into this beach soccer pit just behind me. Guys, if you want to see what Atlantis looks like from a beach soccer pit, this is the best spot that you can actually come.
Tremendous.
Man, you can see Kersney just behind you, and it's lit up, folks. I'm telling you, this is a beautiful spot to be. Playing soccer by the beach. And one of the other things that came up as a result of this beach soccer program is that this is an attraction to the tourist industry. This is an economic attraction. There are a number of persons who love to play beach soccer who come via cruise ships. And so there are a number of areas, Gary, that this place is actually going to be maximized.
But once you have a centre like this, all right, it starts to attract people. It starts to attract major groups who can come and train. And what a great place to train. The Bahamas, fantastic, right? And what you do is you bring out island people, professional people. They come and train. They stay at Atlantis. They come and train. And I mean, you can't beat better than that, can you?
Across the board, NBA players, football players, everybody's now, they're using the beach soccer pit as a training ground to prepare them for whatever their regular season would actually be. It breeds a sense of discipline. Of course, just training in sand alone prepares you for whatever discipline you're after. But I just believe that economically, this is actually going to be a major push. I understand that they got 25 responses already once they put the new beach soccer center up, the BFA. And we're going to talk about the BFA and the success that they've had, because soccer is the most watched sport in the country, but the BFA in the world. And the interesting thing is that the second they put the beach soccer pit up on the website, 25 countries were interested in coming down here for some sort of relationship.
Perfect.
And
Absolutely
so
perfect.
obviously it speaks volumes to what is actually happening from the Bahamas Football Association. Let's talk quickly about the soccer development program. Antoine Seeley, who is the president, of course. Fred Lund, the general secretary. Let's talk a little bit about the work that they've done.
Well, over the years, as you know, they've always been involved. From players, I played against Anton many years ago, and Fred. I played with Fred, and they've brought in a lot of people in various forms. The New Providence Football Association to get the leagues going. There's been a bit of a dip on a couple of years where there's been some not great development. But since they've got together with the FIFA and they've got the funding and they've brought in the pitches, now what we see now is a bit of an explosion as far as youth soccer is concerned.
Yes.
And that to me is key. There's 2 or 3 areas here that's most important. Number 1, development of skills, which is important. Number 2, the continuation of that development through to your national programme. But number 3, which I think is probably the most important, is keeping these kids occupied, away from the computer, off the streets, away from idle hands and all that. Give them some focus in sport. And I think sport is the most important aspect of their life in order to be able to give them a different avenue and so interest. True. And not only that, everybody on this island talks sport. We all talk sport.
All
everything
sports.
from baseball, basketball, soccer, all the way through.
It's a sports country.
It's a sports country all the way through. And as you know from the radio as well, it's every day, and that's paramount. And I think we've got to continue with that. And Anton and Fred have been doing a great job getting all these coaches together.
A tremendous job. It's kind of interesting that you talk a little bit about the Anton Seeley, who I knew Anton Seeley from his baseball days, and now you talk about Anton Seeley as a soccer player. But Anton Seeley has done tremendously well as far as the development of the vision of the Bahamas Football Association. One of the things I find intriguing about FIFA and FIFA's mission and mandate, they speak specifically about breaking down barriers and breaking down barriers, and they want to extend their boundaries, and that is the mantra of FIFA. And what Bahamas Football Association has done, they've been all inclusive. Just yesterday they brought the Ranfully home in, and they've been doing a whole lot of things just to try to break down the barriers so that they can extend the boundaries and be so inclusive, bringing a number of inner city kids in, bringing person from the outskirts in. And once young persons begin to play, they don't even know where they sleep, they don't know where they're from. And so FIFA and also the Bahamas Football Association, they've done a tremendous job in breaking down the barriers here in the country as far as soccer is concerned.
Well, as you know, I mean, the World Cup itself is the largest single sporting organisation in the entire world. I mean, right across the globe. From the World Cup itself, massive funding takes place. Now, FIFA spread that funding around all over the place, but they want to see development. They want to see kids. Yes. They want to see youth developments. They want to see national teams coming through at the junior ages, and they will support that to the T. And that's where I think we've gained as far as FIFA is concerned. That's where I think our Bahamas Football Association have gone out, understood what is needed to develop, and they've got the funding, and they've started to get the infrastructure in place. There are so many people out there willing to coach and help at every single level that it is you mentioned the word explosion, and I think it is exploding, and it needs to continue to explode. And we need our government to support it in as much a way as possible. Land, funding, whatever. All right, time off, whatever it needs. And I do believe our sports ministries are looking in that direction as well.
I tell you what, if they keep playing this kind of music, you just be dancing all day,
Yeah, the white boys.
White
boys a bit of struggle with the old rhythm there.
You have to learn to.
We can get a bit of hip movement sometime, but I might need a new hip.
It's not just the hip movement; it's the shoulders too. You move those shoulders.
That's definitely age and infirmity. That one, Adi.
You are so right about that. But guys, just passing me, I saw the former Minister of Education, Desmond Bannister, who is also his son is actually on the
Dominic,
he's on the team, and so we have a number of persons who are politicians, their children are playing. Now maybe we need to send some kind of a signal to the politicians whose children are playing soccer. Invest in sports, invest in sports, invest in sports. But so maybe get the message through.
Do that again. See,
yeah.
you wasted, you
gotta marry the goal, and then you gotta be able to put a couple other things in with it. But no, I tell you what, we have a number of politicians who made their stride through sports. But the nephew of our Prime Minister,
Prime Minister, exactly.
Gavin Christie, he's the captain of our team, and I think Chris Davis, the son of Philip Brave Davis, is the goalie on our team. Desmond Bannister, like I said, the former Minister of Education, also the Minister of Sports, with the responsibility for sports. His son also is on this team, and so we know that we grow our country through athletics. Now we just need to fund our athletics and grow our country. So this is going.
You had that ready one, didn't you? You had that ready. That's so true.
I don't know if I did, but no, it's just amazing though that sports have this unique ability to save lives and build countries. and what we can actually do, coming out of all these things that we see happening now. It's amazing the place sports can actually take young people and build countries.
But where were you on the 4x4? I mean, what a lifter for a small nation, Eradicate, all right? A 4x4 gold medal. I mean, unbelievable. The quality of our 400-meter runners, and that's testament to the whole of the athletics in the Bahamas.
That is amazing. You know, to be the big United States of America, you put a beat down. I can still see D'Angelo Taylor when Ramon Miller caught him. I can still see him through. You know, I'm kind of funny when it comes to sports. First of all, I am patriotic to the core. I'm not very good for television sometimes because I got a plenty bias when it comes to my country. But I remember Ramon Miller. I actually watched it in my bedroom, and I remember Ramon Miller actually running down D'Angelo Taylor from the U.S. and I could still be D'Angelo Taylor trying to take that monkey off his back. So I'm saying to myself, stop now stop, right? But I feel the same way when we play CBC against the Jamaicans the other day here in the Bahamas. I was all out. When we go to Carifta, I was in Bermuda this year at Carifta, and I was all out. And so we've been trying to beat the Jamaicans for a long time to reclaim our spot.
I know.
To reclaim our spot in the region, and so that's going to happen today. I think we're going to put one or two little slaps on them today.
Oh, I think they're going to come up against a very, very determined and skillful young side. They've been working very hard at their skills. And you know the coach? I'll find his name in a few seconds. Roberto. I can't say his name.
He has a funny name. He's Brazilian.
You should see the skill level that he possesses himself, even though he's got a bad leg. The skill levels that he shows our kids is brilliant. Of course, he was the coach of the US national beach soccer team as well. And now we're very lucky to have him around. But if you could probably get some demonstrations from his ability, and then transfers that to our kids, you realise the level of skill that he's brought to our young players, and they will compete very well today against Jamaica.
I'm very impressed with the Bahamian coach, and I really believe that the skill level, like you said, that he has transferred will actually go down to assist us a long way as far as our personal development is concerned. But one of the things he said to me, he talked about he played with Diego Maradona, he played with some of the best in the world. And then playing with Diego Maradona and some of the best soccer players in the world, one of the things he talked about the need for soccer in Brazil. He said, it's a way out for so many athletes. It's not a game. It's a life for them.
Right.
And so he hoped that the Bahamas can develop the same kind of thirst, the same kind of passion. The Bahamas, we want this, but in Brazil they need this. They need this in Brazil, and so they play their way out of Brazil. They play their way out of that country. But guys, I'm telling you what, there's a little liquid sunshine taking place out here.
Yeah, you just talked about the sunshine a few minutes ago. I think it disappeared.
Yeah, one of the things that I've come to realize is, I have the kind of body odor that can actually last about 2 or 3 days, and so maybe God realized that that body odor is kind of dying down. So he's sending some water.
He's sending some water, right?
He's sending some water.
Some cleansing water for you.
I am telling you, maybe a bath was calling us off. But guys, listen, man, way out here at Malcolm Park East Beach Soccer Pitch. Malcolm Park East Beach Soccer Pitch. I'm enjoying this. I'm looking at my good friend Miss Coakley, and if I didn't have a bath, no one should blame me. I'm getting it full force now. And so but guys, we're right next to the Sydney Poitier Bridge, and those of you who want to come out, it's going to be a fantastic afternoon. And so there is food, there's a whole lot. You got music. I saw the hot dogs look good. And so there are a number of things, guys, that you can enjoy and take advantage of out here. But we want you to come out, see the new pitch, the new style pitch, and also the sand pitch. And so there's a lot that's going to be going on out here. So guys, Gary,
a lot of rain at the moment.
Are you getting used to this water?
The water? Hey, listen, I come from England, mate. All right.
Now you all got water in England?
Yeah, just a little bit every day.
Every day. I tell you what, this is one of those days. The game is going to take place. It's going to blow over, and so while it's blowing over, we get to. Now, did you bring your soap?
Got me shampoo already, mate.
Oh, you were really shampooed. So guys, we are broadcasting live from the Malcolm Park soccer pitch, beach pitch, and so we're having some fun out here. Gary brought his soap with him, and so we're going to actually use the soap to go with the rain, just to ensure that this whole thing works out perfectly.
But of course, and football's one of those things, Adrian, that it doesn't stop for the rain.
Doesn't stop for the rain.
I mean, it's not like baseball. Suddenly the rain comes, or especially with our outdoor basketball coach, you can't play in the rain. So and track and field tends to continue a little bit in the rain, so much.
Now, if there's lightning,
if
there's lightning, track and field stops.
Yeah.
Other than that, maybe you run it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But I think I would probably rather run in the rain if I was a track and field athlete, because at least nobody gets to see how slow I am.
If you could run as fast as your mouth, Adrian, I promise you, you would definitely be a world champion.
I tell you what,
honestly.
you do what you do well.
You do very well. Very well.
You do what you do, and you do it very well. But now, Gary, your program, your soccer program, as far as the Queen's College is concerned, how's that developing?
Well, Adrian, it's a bit of a shock question, to be honest, but you've been a great advocate of our program. I really must admit, and
yes.
And you've been a great advertiser for us. We've been doing well over the years, as you know. Especially our track and field has put us on the mark. We've got a tremendous number of young athletes, and it's easy to say that the program's going well. But a lot of our program is down to a lot of the coaches out there already. We do a lot of in-house coaching, but we also got a lot of our athletes are out with the coaches out there. And as you know, we've got some great coaches in track and field. We really have. We've got some guys who are superb. And so testimony to them, as well as our in-house coaches, has brought our athletes together. What we're most proud about, to be honest, not just track and field, is that in fact we do quite well across the board.
Yes.
Everything. Our swimming, our soccer, our basketball, our track and field, our volleyball. So we compete at the top level in every one of those sports, and that is testimony to the general program that we've brought in at Queen's College. And I'm so pleased to see that our athletes and our swimmers and our soccer players continue to do well. And hopefully it becomes a legacy, because we haven't been known for our sport over the years, but now it's beginning to develop that we're an all-round school. Our academics are fantastic. And our sport is hopefully going to try and catch up to that level as well. And it's thanks to you guys who give us a bit of kudos as well. So that's great. Thanks,
hats off to you and Ms. Turnquist and the rest of them. You guys have done a tremendous job, and it always makes me proud to know that you guys have produced some of the better athletes. I was talking to one of your athletes, Printasia Johnson.
How's she doing? Yeah,
she's doing very, very well. She's over at Illinois State University, and we try to stay in touch with as many athletes as we can. But Printasia, we call her Horsey. She does extremely well.
She calls her Horsey as well.
Yeah, she is a tremendous athlete, produced by Queen's College. But guys, Adrian Francis, Gary Malcolm, we are broadcasting live here on Cable Bahamas.
Broadcasting live and wet.
Live and wet. Here on Cable Bahamas. We'll do that. That's not a bad thing, but we are just east of the old police station here on East Bay Street, opposite the Eastern Parade, and we're just next to the new Sir Sidney Poitier Bridge. It's really an old bridge, but just newly named Sir Sidney Poitier. Now, folks, for those of you who out there are no movies on the bridge. It's just a name on the bridge.
Where is the name on this bridge?
I haven't seen the names yet.
Okay.
I kept looking for the name, and so. But guys, I think we're going to take a break for the rain, and after the break we're going to resume. But Adrian Francis, Gary Malcolm, we're here at Malcolm Park. It's almost your park, almost Malcolm Park.
Malcolm Park. I get called Malcolm all the time, as you can imagine. Yeah.
But we're live here from Malcolm Park, the beach soccer pit, and guys, we'll be back in a few moments. We're going to take a rain break, and just after the rain break, more from Malcolm Park and beach soccer in a moment.
Also, we have a lot of special friends visiting from abroad. You really know when your friends are when you call and you tell them you're having something to do and you need their assistance, and they all show up. So I'm very pleased to have visiting with me some of my colleagues from CONCACAF, FIFA, and the CFU, in the person of President of the Jamaica Football Federation and also Executive Committee member of CONCACAF, Mr. Horace Burrell. Captain Burrell, if you please. Also, my good friend and fellow president from the Bermuda Football Association, Mr. Larry Mussendum. Thank you, Larry. And from the FIFA Goal Bureau and the agency within FIFA which is responsible, along with the government of the Bahamas, for the facility that we're about to inaugurate this afternoon, Mr. Gregory Engelrecht. And assisting Gregory in this region, we have two development officers. The country, the Bahamas, we fall under the direction of Ms. Anjani Kanhai, and she's there somewhere. And also in the Caribbean region, Mr. Howard McIntosh. And as you know, the Bahamas, we're members of also the CFU first, and then CONCACAF, and then FIFA in that order. And I'm pleased to have my president of CFU with us, Mr. Gordon Derrick, recently elected president of CFU, Mr. Gordon Derrick, replacing we all know who. Also, we have there, I think I introduced Mr. Horace Reed, who is the former General Secretary of the Jamaica Football Federation and the new Director of Competitions for CONCACAF, Mr. Horace Reed, my very good friend. And up there, we also see the Honorary Consul for Jamaica wearing his colors, but we won't hold that against him today. Okay? Don't forget my wife. Yes, my wife is. Who else? I think we've covered everybody on the platform except former president of the BFA, Mr. Roscoe Davies, who you know, our facility, Goal 2 rather, is named after. Roscoe Davies facility out in Oaksfield. Mr. Davies is here. Okay, so I think that's about it for introductions. Just want to welcome you all here. And right now we'll ask Father Stephen Davies to come and give us a brief invocation.
Please bow your heads and let us pray. Good and gracious God, we thank you for this beautiful Commonwealth of the Bahamas, for this beautiful day, and for this beautiful new facility. We thank you for the gifts and talents of sportsmen, especially those who play the beautiful game of football. We thank you for football and its growth in this country, and we ask your blessing now upon this day, this facility, those who will play. May holy guardian angels watch over us all, especially those playing. Keep them safe from serious harm or injury, and may the spirit of fair play prevail this day and always. These blessings and favors we ask in the name of him who is our Savior, Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Father Davies. And those, traditionally, you have the wine after the service, but I see some guys have been indulging in the wine before the service. Just now we'll invite the president of CFU, Mr. Gordon Derrick, to come and bring us some brief remarks. As he comes, I just want to acknowledge I think I didn't give the name of the Honorary Consul of Jamaica. That is Mr. Hanlon, Patrick Hanlon. Mr. Derrick, sartorial elegance as always.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Captain Horace Burrell, representative of CONCACAF, President Anton Silly, president of the Bahamas FA, FIFA representatives, members of the government of Bahamas, and also members of the Bahamian Football Federation. Good afternoon. This is indeed a historic day for football here in the Bahamas. The Bahamas has always been known as a country of firsts. If my memory serves me correct, about 500 years ago, Christopher Columbus would have landed in San Salvador and being the first country within this region to be discovered again, you know. And also today marks the first country in the Caribbean to have a full-fledged beach soccer facility. And we want to congratulate the Bahamian FA again for another first. Given that the country's main economic driver is tourism, and the fact that beaches are one of your selling points, I think this is a no-brainer. And I think that this facility will only augur well for the future development of sports tourism, guided by the Bahamian FA, as you try to bring the tourists here to enjoy not only the hospitality, but also to have wonderful recreation here at this wonderful facility. We at the CFU applaud the Bahamas FA and President Seeley's vision of becoming the first country within the CFU to qualify to FIFA's World Cup Beach Soccer Finals. This facility will go a long way in making sure that this happens. We believe that the formula used of multi-stakeholder collaboration, maximizing resources, and carving out a natural niche is actually one of the best ways for the small island territories of the Caribbean to target their football dreams. Let's be realistic. We have 31 members of the CFU, but of those 31, how many of us realistically have the resources, the population size, the player pool to qualify to the finals of the FIFA World Cup football, which is on the field? Very few, and we have to be realistic. But by thinking outside of the box and thinking with vision, President Seeley has seen that a quick and a direct way of reaching to the finals is through something like beach soccer. And we want to commend him on that. And we want to commit that CFU will give you all the necessary resources and assistance within reason to make sure that you, Bahamas, release your dreams of reaching that way. Soon to be announced, President Seeley will be the chairman of the CFU's futsal and beach soccer committee. The reason behind that is that we expect by 2014 to have our inaugural CFU beach soccer tournament. And we expect that President Seeley, leading this committee, will put on a wonderful show. And I can almost guarantee you that the first venue will be right here in the Bahamas for the finals of that CFU tournament. But he will also add to that, because I cannot see how CONCACAF will overlook this facility also as a venue of providing wonderful entertainment. You have gone over and beyond, you have thought out the box, and therefore Bahamas and President Seeley must be rewarded, and we will make sure that these things happen. I'm only giving a few comments, so I will now look to leave. I want to thank the BFA for wonderful hospitality, all the things that you have done to bring us here, and we look forward to a wonderful tournament and to an enjoyable day or two here in the Bahamas. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, President Gordon. I'll tell you one thing, if we're elephants, we remember everything. So if you believe we're not going to hold you to those promises, you got another thing coming, my friend. Moving right along, I'd like to bring along my very good friend. Like him, there is none other within CFU, within CONCACAF, I dare say within FIFA. He is the president of the Jamaica Football Federation. Although he likes to say it, the way he says it is, I am the president of Jamaica Football Federation. Please welcome Captain Horace Burrell.
Thank you very kindly, Mr. President. Deputy Prime Minister, his beautiful wife, my dear friend, Mr. Anton Seeley, President of the BFA, and Mrs. Seeley, other distinguished members of the BFA, members of the FIFA, represented by Gregory Engelbert, development officers, members of CONCACAF who are here, members of the participating team, i.e. the Reggae Boys, and also the Bahamian beach football team, friends of football, all, a very, very, very good afternoon to you. Ladies and gentlemen, today I am representing the president of CONCACAF, Mr. Jeffrey Webb, who wanted to be here, but unfortunately, due to other engagements, in fact, other prior engagements, he's not able to be here. And so I represent him. He has asked me to convey his congratulations to the BFA for having certainly gone ahead and having realized a dream which is certainly going to make our region proud. My good friend, the CFU president, Mr. Gordon Derrick, and I listened to him carefully. Gordon, I dare say you're young and budding and upcoming president. Well done. Let me say here, ladies and gentlemen, that this facility will certainly make the Caribbean very proud. This facility will be used, and I can tell you, I know that I would have the support of President Webb in ensuring that the Bahamas is host to competitions in the future. Mr. Derrick has made it quite clear that the CFU, in not too long from now, will embark on beach football development. And what better venue, ladies and gentlemen, to host tournaments? The Bahamas is such a wonderful island. I am from Jamaica. Jamaica is beautiful, wonderful. Bahamas is also very beautiful. And I commend you, my dear friend and president, for having gotten this thing really to where it's at today. We know that the future of the Bahamas, the Bahamian football, is in good hands. We know also that you have an executive who supports you very well. My good friend Fred, one of the hardest workers that you'll ever find in football. And I dare say, Fred, your work certainly is manifesting itself here. Congratulations again to all. I know that this is a FIFA goal project, and Mr. Webb wants me to tell you that you have his support in certainly making this even a greater facility. Certainly, you will want to have stands. And he has said that he will work with the FIFA to ensure that you get what is really needed to be able to host at least a CONCACAF tournament. Congratulations to all. Enjoy the facility, and let's have some good football. Well done.
All right, thank you, Cap. As always, I can depend on my good friends to come to my aid. Moving right along with the program, we're going to call Mr. Gregory Engelbrecht. As I indicated earlier, he is responsible for the goal. He's in the Goal Bureau in FIFA's office in Zurich, and he is the man responsible for dispensing the cash for these facilities. So, so please welcome. He's a very important man. Please be nice to him.
Thank you very much, Anton, for that brilliant introduction. All protocol having been observed by all these distinguished speakers before me, I would like to say hello to everyone, ladies and gentlemen, and the football family of Bahamas. It's a pleasure to be in Bahamas on this occasion for my second time in Bahamas, but my first real visit. And it's a pleasure having been able to see this facility finally for the first time with my own eyes. On behalf of President Blatter, we congratulate the Bahamas Football Association